Metro farming. We do hydroponic systems and we also do trainings in farming. So this is a hydroponic system that we connected from you. We're saying it's a hydroponic system because our plants do not grow in soil, they grow in water. So the hydro part comes from that. It's a nutrient rich water that you feed into the plant. And also that we're able to grow vertically, so it's kind of like a smaller space, but we have about 60 plants here in the small space. After installation, we need to take you through the work that needs to be done on daily basis on the system. But first, let me take you through the features. That's a reservoir, we call it. It must always be connected. That's where we have our water and nutrients. This is a 50-liter reservoir. You fill it 2 to 3 times a week, depending on the size of the plants. So when the plants are this small, you'll probably fill it twice a week because the water is enough. But then as the plant grows bigger, then you will add the 3 times a week into it because it will start consuming more water. And then there's a nutrient, forgot it, it's in the car. Okay, I'll get it for you. With the nutrient mix, you scoop a spoon, you mix it in water and you just pour it there. So every time you refill the water, you just take a 5 ml spoon, you add the nutrient into it, and then you add into the reservoir. The reason we have this ugly thingy on top is so that it's easy to channel the water and you don't spill everywhere, but otherwise it has no any other use. The connection, the water goes from the top, it flows in this sequence and it goes down. So the water is recyclable because it will keep moving within the system. The plants that are here, this is spinach, this is lettuce, this is tomato, this is chili. So this kind of systems, they can plant different kinds of crop vegetables. When we say crop, we're talking about everything that looks green in your plate. However, every now and again we add the other part of the plants, which I call root vegetables, but we use a completely different system. So it's not something like this, but you'll see it someday, or maybe when you subscribe to Sibayeni Metro Farming, you get to know that. Okay, the plants that are here, they will grow until harvest time, so you don't transplant to somewhere else. The beauty about it, I'm clean when I work here. I never get dirty. Whether I am working, I'm harvesting, whatever, it all happens here, even the harvest itself. So as your spinach grows, you will harvest the leaves that you see that are maturing around the plant. The same with the lettuce. You cut the leaves around it. You leave the plant here to continue to grow. So you don't harvest once and throw it away or take it out. It stays here, and you're listening to me, right? Okay, good.
Yes, I'm right.
I see he's stretching his ears. Okay, yeah, you harvest from here the leaves, you let it grow. The second time, maybe in about 2 to 3 weeks, it will be harvest time again. You harvest, and then you harvest for the 3rd time. After the 3rd time, you will see the growth will slow down. It's not going to be as fast. That means the plant is tired. It's then that you can take it out and then you put in new seedlings. And then, okay, these are the same. These ones are easy. You just take the fruit out of it. Unless you're doing any other kind of processing and you want to use the leaves, that you can do as well. And then here at the bottom we have tomatoes. The tomatoes, they grow also until harvest time. But you know, tomatoes, as they grow, they need support. So we will have to have what do we call it, a wire or a rope, yes, that will move from here through, yes, just to support the plant so that it's able to lie on it as the plant grows. While it's still small, it can stand by itself. And then if it ever happens that you take out this from the plant, from the system, please make sure when you return it, it never happens that the roots are outside. If the roots are not in the water, the plant will die. Anything can happen here on top. You can break it, or whether it fell by wind or whatever happened. It's just leaves. It's a stem. Anything can happen. But any damage to the roots means the plant is dead. Yes. So that's the part that we always have to protect. What you see here, these green things that are in here, they don't have any other particular purpose except just to make sure that it is dark in here. So if it ever happens that you take this out and there's nothing here, please make sure that you cover so that there's no sunlight that goes through here, because if there's sunlight going through here, then you will have what we call algae. So the water inside will turn green and it will affect your roots. Some might rot and all those kind of problems. And then you see we've put in on the sides, we've put in chili, both sides. These ones we call our protection plants, and because every now and again, you know, we share space and nature with insects and aphids and worms and all that. They will also want to feed into this. This brings the ugly taste or the strong taste that your plants those things wouldn't like. So that's the reason we keep those ones there, so that, yeah, it is safe. If it ever happens that when you look at the plants, maybe your leaves are turning too light in color, like they losing color, they turn brown. Okay, if they turn brown, it means they don't have enough calcium. You'll subscribe to Sibayeni Metro Farming so that you get to see the videos and you learn how to substitute calcium. If it turns yellow, it means there's not enough nutrients. You can also do that scoop and make sure that you substitute the nutrients. Anything else, the plants are able to survive by themselves and they're able to recover themselves if there are any problems other than lack. Yeah. Sunlight also can be a challenge. They can burn the plants. So we chose this spot because we thought it has enough light, but also it doesn't get too much direct sunlight. So it's partly protected. I don't know about winter when it gets too cold. Last year it was like, yeah, terrible. We had snow in Midrand. I'm sure you saw something like that this side as well. Please just cover them overnight. Yeah, just cover so that it doesn't ice, and then because it takes time for them to recover, and then they recover, then at night it's cold again, you know, then it might damage the plants. Covering, you can find a frost cover. It's a white sheet. It's very light that we use. I'm sure you've seen it, people covering plants. Yeah. Or you can use a normal net, but make sure it's a 80%. Yeah, not the light ones. Go 40% and 50%. It's too light. Yeah, 80% or 90% you cover overnight so that it doesn't freeze. And any questions?
I think you've answered all my questions, because I wanted to know what do we use to cover and how do we supplement this.
Okay.
So I think you've answered all the questions. Alberti, do you have any questions?
Okay. If there's anything I said and you somehow forget, you can just go to your YouTube, Sibayeni Metro Farming, and you look at the different kind of videos that we post there, and then you'll get to see if there's anything, yeah, that you need touch up on.
I think the question that I have is on the tomatoes.